Okay, good.
Or can you see?
Yeah, I can see you. Okay, let's start.
Okay, uh, so I live in Seoul and I pass by the Han River a lot of time, and the number of the Han River bridges is 31 of them. So whenever I cross by these bridges, like I was wondering like how people made this pillar under the water. So I did some research for that, and there are many different techniques for the building the bridges, and it's also depending on the depth and length or flow velocity of the water. So these are the two examples that are building the water, but the most important part that I want to mention in this one is like the innovative. My opinion is uh, why can't we use this bridge pillar to make the hydroelectric generator by using the flow of the water rate of the river to
Wow.
produce the hydropower? That's all.
Wow, that's very good. Something I learned new. So that's a kind of innovation using a pillar of a bridge. And so you researched that and you found out it's related to hydro generation.
No, I'm like by
Oh, you're
using the
proposing.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you're,
proposing.
oh, wow, that's really cool. That's a very good idea. Wow.
So I was
That's a,
wondering like yeah, why can't we using our new architecture skills to make this kind of
yeah.
like
Okay, very good. Good job. Um, thank you very much. Good. So let's go to Park Chae-yeon. No, no, sorry. Lee Yoon-gun. Lee Yoon-gun.
This professor. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Lee Yoon-gun.
I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you, but
Oh, okay.
if you can make your volume a little bit louder.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's good.
Okay. So, push. I'm sorry. My PowerPoint just shut down.
Let's come back to you, Lee
Oh,
Yoon-gun.
okay.
Make sure it's working properly. And let's go to Park Chae-yeon. Park Chae-yeon. You talked about homeostasis yesterday.
Good morning, Professor. My name is Taeyeon Park, and my observation is about chameleons. And let me share my screen to explain more about chameleons.
Camellia, what's that?
Chameleons. This one. Can
Oh,
you?
okay, that's what I thought.
Okay. Uh, how they change their colors by itself? Do they have special eyes to correct their colors and change it quickly? Or how does that work? Chameleons can change their colors to avoid predators or to express their feelings and to control their body temperature. Normally, people think that chameleons change their colors by their pigment, but however, it was not. They have a special skin cell to change it, which is called the chromatophore, and in these cells contains different kinds of pigments, so they can open its cells and close its cells to show their colors. So in my opinion, by using this cell, we can apply this to scar or burns. When
Wow.
we get burned, we have different skin colors, so we usually cure the skin to heal. However, the skin color does not come back. The color will be stay the same as dark or red. So when we apply these cells, I think the cell can find the color and cure the skin color where it was used to be. And also, I think that uh, we can lower down the temperature when we got burned. Thank you.
Good job. Okay, so I have one question though, Chaeyon. Did you actually observe a chameleon?
In the TV documentary.
In the TV documentary, but you didn't see it around you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to take off for the grade because it was very nice, but in general, the purpose was to see something where you experience yourself.
Uh,
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give a penalty or anything, uh, and it's because it's a very nice idea and very innovative. So I don't want to. And in fact, one of the interesting things you see about this course is if you do something different and don't always follow my direction, you don't get punished, right? Because it's innovation course. It would not be right if I punish you for doing something different. But I just want to emphasize that the observation and Simon was to actually look around like the others did and see something. So make sure you still have that observation mindset. Of course, watching on a TV documentary is a kind of observation too. So that's fine. That's why I said that. But also train yourself like the Leonardo da Vinci and the Michelangelo examples. Train yourself to look around. Of course, to be honest, in our pandemic days, everyone is at home and they don't have as much opportunity to observe, and we see things on TV. So that's fine. Maybe that's the modern way of observing. But of course, one of the problems with TV is, it's kind of, how should I say, determined by other people. And you were lucky to see a show about chameleons, but going out and observing on your own with your own initiative is an important skill set to have. But good job.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Okay, let's go back to Lee Yun Gun. Lee Yun Gun.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So good morning, Professor and everyone. Okay, I just want to share something interesting I found very simple in normal life a few days ago to me. So what do you guys observe from this picture? If I ask you guys from this picture and said, isn't it beautiful? What will you guys will be focusing at? Some will think the car in front of me is well shaped, and some will think that the weather is great, and some will think the sky is calm and peace. Even though we are looking at the same thing, same picture, people's understanding can differ in different ways. So, and I think innovation comes from this little difference.
Mm.
Now, on the next picture, now what do you guys see from this picture? So I found this picture like on the wall in front of my house, like my building. And if you see a man with a red hair and a woman lying down and a short kid on the left side, this is how you can, everyone will see different things in the same picture. And so I think innovation comes from this little difference in our daily life, not from an entire new thing, new idea. And this little difference can change your life a lot. From here, when I said difference, it means observation. Do not focus on a single tree, but try to see the whole society. Thank you.
Okay, very good job. That's a very powerful statement, actually. Thanks for sharing that. That's exactly right. So this is where innovation requires a diversity. So, for example, Lee Byung-uk was walking outside his rooftop and he observed the drunk people, but somebody else might walk and observe the air conditioning units and what that means. Another person may observe the covering and what that means for heat and insulation and whatever. Everybody looks at these things in very different ways. So very important in the future when you're doing, we talk about this in innovation management, is to get as much diverse views as possible. Same with the brainstorming sessions. So actually what Lee Yun-gun mentioned, observed is very true and very powerful. So it's kind of a meta observation. He didn't observe one little thing. He actually observed the fact that one can see many things. So that was interesting. Thank you. Let's go to Lee Shin-hyung. Lee Shin-hyung. Lee Shin-hyung. Yeah, Lee Shin-hyung said they were going to come later. And same with Pavuk Mervez. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's go to Saliev. Saliev Sakbozkon.
Yes, Professor. That's me.
Yeah, some people have exams, so some people will go later. So Saliev, you may start when you want.
Yeah. Today I'm going to share you with my experience of traveling to Seoul Metropolitan Subway. When I was visiting Seoul on Thursday, I saw a particular case. Two police officers were strolling down the subway cab, and it struck me very interesting because I knew that the reason they were there was to observe whether people are obeying the law of wearing the mask. And it struck me as interesting because although there is a law within the Korea that you will be fined some certain amount of money for not wearing mask, just simply passing a law without enforcing it would mean no effect. So at that time, I thought, what a great idea to put the people who will observe the observance of law by the citizens would have a great effect on the overall health of a society in general. So I think one of the key points of South Korea's battle against the COVID-19 is that its efforts on making people obey the law by keeping watch on them, and especially having machines that check the temperature at the entrances, and then also having workers who will keep eyes on them wearing the mask. I think this all helped prevent the widespread of COVID-19 in this time. So that struck me as interesting. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Good job. I want to make a couple comments. One is sometimes just seeing these everyday things have very big implications. And so you want to train your mind to see these small little things. You wonder how Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, they become billionaires. You know, maybe you'll be a billionaire sometime because you observe some small thing that drives human behavior. And then you can make a, you know, Amazon or whatever based on this observation of human behavior. This type of observation skill is extremely important. Now, you mentioned about COVID and sort of the government. In the beginning, I noticed something very interesting. All the politicians, or I should say the leaders, they were all wearing yellow jackets. They're still wearing yellow jackets. So on the COVID task force or in the COVID press conferences, or they take pictures in the newspaper, they have a meeting, they're all wearing yellow jackets. And in the beginning, I thought that's kind of like kindergarten, like a little bit like they're all wearing these funny uniforms, like they're children and they're just, you know. But then I thought about it. I thought that's very powerful message that we are all together. We're dressing, you know, similarly. You know, we don't all look exactly the same, but we're kind of together in fighting this pandemic. But if you contrast that with the American press conferences and the American meetings, everybody has their different tie, their suit. Laura Briggs, the doctor, is famous for her shawls. And then, of course, Trump has his haircut and everybody's different. So, of course, they got very political and divisive. Small little messages like that, I think, are very powerful. So instead of being kind of looking at the yellow jackets and saying, oh, that's kind of funny, not really serious, then I changed my mind and I said, wow, that's a very powerful message of unity and common purpose. So that was interesting. And you observed that, of course, with the policemen and all that. So very good. Let me just make sure I get this right. Uh, Hussein Ali. Hussein Ali.
Yes, Professor. Can you hear me?
A little bit louder, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so the observation that I have had like recently, it's kind of really simple, and the thing we use mostly at home. Like I used to cook a lot. Most of the time I cook at home, and when I cook, uh, the pots in which I cook, they are mostly hot, so I cannot eat the food. So I was thinking like how I can use this heat energy. So the idea just came into my mind that we can made some devices which who can absorb this heat energy and make small amount of electric energy which can charge our cell phones or Bluetooth devices which we connect with our uh, phones. It will be useful to use that heat energy, and if these devices should be portable, so they can be more practically used. Thank you.
Very interesting. Good job. It's an interesting observation. What I liked about your presentation is the observation was very simple, like you said, and you spent more time on the innovation idea.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Uh, Laura Vosel, I was mentioning to you about, you did a wonderful job with a beautiful drawing and everything about your observation, and spent a little time on the innovation implication. And then Hussein, he didn't have a very fancy presentation. So I like Laura's paintings and all that, but he spent more time on the innovation. So I'm not saying one is better than the other, but the point is that I think with this observation, you should be thinking about how to, always. Remember, I said innovation is a mindset. Always thinking about innovation. So you can imagine having a device next to your cooking. There's this extra heat going around, but if you have a little device that's absorbing that heat and then charging your phone, that's a very nice concept.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Laura, I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just explaining the context.
No, I understand.
Very good. Okay. Let me just write here. Everyone's doing very well. Much better than yesterday, by the way. Not much better. Yesterday was good, but a little bit better. So I think people are getting used to it. So that's good. Okay, Mahmoud John.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mahmoud. I will talk about my later observation. So I observed the tree that is changing color during the cold weather and during the sunlight. I mean, natural changing color. So the idea came to my mind that why we can't kind of innovate some kind of glass that changes the color, and this kind of glass can be used in machine building and uh, high building kind of constructions. So you may say that yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's available, but in the end, it's not used like widely scale. So that would be great idea if we innovate such kind of glasses that can change the color during the sunlight or during the cold weather. So according to the weather, change the color. So
Very
that's my observation.
good job. Very nice. A couple comments. First of all, what would be the purpose of changing the color? Just for beauty,
No,
aesthetic?
actually, this idea came to my mind while I was typing my assignment, and the sunlight was reflecting on my screen was annoying. So this idea came to my mind because of this.
I see. So a couple things come to mind. Although the beauty side of it could be very interesting too, as well as the practical side. But two things come to mind. One is they already have glasses that change color with sunlight. So they become in the low light, they are clear, and then in the bright light, they become like sunglasses. So there is some technology. The other thing related to innovation, as you know, Park Chae-yeon talked about the chameleon, and that's the biology. And maybe there's some biology things or mechanisms, not exactly the same, of course, that could inform how to implement your technology. So you combine two observations, two people come together, you make a team with Park Chae-yeon, and you make a company that has chameleon glass with this bio-inspired idea. So thank you very much. Good job. Let's go to Ali Yawar. Ali Yawar.
Yes, Professor, can you hear me?
Yes, so you may start.
So the observation that the observation that I was looking for uh, when I got this assignment, and I was looking around, but this one point that took my my full concentration was like because I'm from Pakistan, and in Pakistan there are not too much places where people are trying to save energy, like light energy.
Mm.
And when I came to Korea, I saw like when I was going to certain washrooms specifically, or to certain places like stairs or somewhere, there were timer lights. They will switch on motions of a person, and then will switch off about after 10 seconds or something. And I just saw that, and I was thinking, what if, because like many people, they sometimes they forgot to switch off the lights and everything, and it use a lot of energy. For example, if someone does not turn off their lights, the whole night the lights will be on, and uh, it will be a loss of energy. So I was thinking, what if we do something in the technology of with the same technology, but we innovate it, or like to change it in a way that people will use energy, the lights will be on until the person is in there, or after some times when they see like there's zero motion, for example, uh like
20 seconds.
so we can innovate the device in such way that the person, until that person is there, the lights are on, and after that it will be switched off by themselves. After so it should not depend on just the person is coming, it also should depend on the person is going away from the lights, or is completely silent, or like
Mm.
in some ways, to just to save the energy in another way.
That's enough time. Okay. Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you, Ali Awar. Let's go to Trin Quang Truong.
Good morning, everybody. So today I'm gonna talk about my observation in the daily life, and I went to the internet and find the answers for myself. Okay, let's begin with the the questions. Have you ever yawned because somebody else yawned? I firmly believe that yes, because the scientific belief that yawning is spread from the person to person as a sign of the empathize. In particularly, we are more susceptible to yawning from people who are close to Earth than from strangers. These yawning behaviors begin when people are 4 to 5 years old, the age when we begin to develop empathy and the ability to identify emotion. In particularly in children with autism, the possibility of the journey from the others highly occurs because due to the decline of mirror neurons or copy neurons, they have a role in responding to the even to the events going on around them. Joining is not common with animal, as most animal do not have the ability to empathize like human, except chimpanzees. But dogs are particularly capable of joining when they owners join
30
because
seconds.
they have a higher ability to sense their surrounding than the other. Yeah, that's my observation, Professor.
Great. Thank you very much. What are some of the innovation implications?
To be honest, I just
You just observed, yeah. So I think it's very important to think about what kind of innovation or new concept or idea that you get from the observation.
yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to Clarice Marie.
Yes. Hello, sir.
Hello. Okay, you
so-
may start.
So my idea for today, actually, I'm from France, as Laura too, and when I came to Korea, I realized the same thing as her. Is that I was surprised during her presentation, actually, but we both realized that South Korea is way safer than France, and also there was a lot of cameras. And my conclusion that South Korea was safer was also that maybe with more CCTVs, more camera, France will be safer. So I was thinking that maybe as in Korea, France could implement more cameras in the streets in order for us to be safer. For example, in Korea, we can go out at night without being called, without having to watch over our shoulder. But also a point I remember from when I was living in France is that to make some energy economy, most big cities will turn off the lights between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. around these hours. So I was thinking that, yeah, if the lights are turned off, the cameras will not be as effective if we use CCTVs. For this reason, I was thinking that maybe if France implemented not normal CCTVs, but infrared CCTVs, so the cameras that work at night, we could compensate. We could still turn off the light at between 1 and 5 a.m. and still get this protection during this time, even with the lights turned off. And I was also thinking, French people might not always like to have cameras, but we have 52 millions of cars in France. For this reason, I was thinking to also implement cameras in car, but for this to implement it as a way for people to protect themselves with their insurance, to have a proof, and to implement cars that detect movements. So this camera will not be turned on all the time. And this reason might push people more easily to have this camera in their cars, but also this camera could be used as a way of protecting people that are passing next to the car and things like this. And in this way, it might also.
The time is up.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's very interesting. So, but the problem with infrared light is you can't really do any identification of the person. It's just seeing somebody's there. You can't say, oh, this was Clarice Marie who was robbing the bank or something like that. But very interesting idea. I mean, innovation is about, thinking about new things. They're not always perfect. And even if they're not perfect, they can be very valuable. So there's no right answer. So I thought that was great. Good job. Let's try to be under 2 minutes, by the way. Next one is Komila Duralieva. Komila.
Yes, Professor, I'm here. I can start.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
So greetings to everyone. I'm going to share with you my observation on the changes on the Main Street. So everyone knows about this. Main Street is a place where usually students and many other people have their food, and also they can do some shoppings. And this time I decided to observe the changes regarding the buildings and surroundings around for 1 month. And during this month, there were 4 buildings demolished, 3 were already reconstructed, and new will built. So this really took my eye on, and all of this happened despite the COVID-19 pressure. And for example, there was on the main street, there was a clothing store, but then on the next day, it was already under the renovation. So less than in 3 weeks, there was a new dinner restaurant. For this, I come up with 3 explanations. And first one is about the rational space use, because in Korea, as I know, land is very scarce and expensive. So in case of the store, it seems to be that it wasn't that profitable because of its place and the target market. And for the second reason is their culture, pali culture. Koreans usually tend to do their stuff very fast and efficient. And lastly is goes to the aging population, and also the fact about the pension for the retired people. As I noticed that many owners of small businesses are retired people, and the thing why they are going to open it is just to have enough
20 seconds.
have another source to live, but not only survive. So I can say that the norm, rapid and continuous changes in Korea is norm and can be applied for the new ideas. And we can say that Korean people are embracing the changes very good in comparison to other cultures.
Very interesting. Thank you very much. Good observations about change and impact on society and so forth. The innovations that we talk about are not always like hardware or devices. They can be social innovations, social observations, kind of like what Lee Byung-ok was talking about, drunk people being more true. The social observations are very important too. Thank you very much. Good job, Camila. Let's go to Lee Dong-hwan. Lee Dong-hwan.
Okay. Before I start, I just want to let all the female members in this group to not to get offended, and also I just hope that all of you just accept what I said, in a way that I'm not trying to discriminate anyone from this topic. That's one thing that I would like to share with. Okay, let me start with the topic. Well, I came to Korea just 5 years ago, and since I don't have any friends here, I tend to chat with the random people outside of my range. For example, I use app or social network to talk with the strangers, but somehow I get to talk with like a female prostitutes a lot. But I was mysterious and interesting why they choose those jobs and what led them to have those kind of jobs. So I ask question instead of I get through those kind of experience because I don't like illegal stuff. So the answer that I got from them was that because they don't have a choice and they prefer money instead of what they have for their job for as like a, how should I make this right? Like proud of their job. So I was mysterious that why they choose money instead of the proud, having a proud job themselves, or like a proud in front of the others. And also they say they have no choice but to choose those kind of job. I don't think that there's no choice of choosing those kind of job. They have a lot of choice, but I think they their first preparation was the money, but not the job. So that's the one thing. To add more information to the two questions is that don't you want to change your life, or don't you change your job, or maybe change your life outside of those kind of job? And most of the people say no, and some of the people say yes, but they have they have no chance of quitting those jobs, and also they cannot think of any job to do other than the job they have. So I think it still remains mysterious in my life. And also it is kind of interesting why this kind of job still exists in our society, even though it's illegal. So this is something that I observed.
Well, very interesting. I mean, innovation is sometimes about controversial topics. So I'm glad that you, you know, shared that. Of course, it's a very difficult topic and can be controversial, but it's a mystery. And in all mysteries can come some solution. Hello? So in some mysteries can come solutions to social problems and so forth. So thank you very much for sharing that. Good job, Yi Dongwan. Let's go to Eleonora.
Just 1 second. Okay. Today I will talk about the thing that most of you might have seen in their lives. And these are actually stray cats in Korea, and they're very curious and naturally cocktails. During the whole month of November, I observed the world around me to find out something interesting and strange. What I noticed was most cats in Korea have bobtails, tails that seem to be cut naturally. In fact, in Korea, cats are not considered household residents. Rather than that, they are perceived as residents of garbage piles and trash cans, which is a quite traditional view and applicable to the young generation. The stray cat is called a cat thief or tuduguani. You cannot take a homeless cat home or feed it. This could attract bad luck, as some superstitious people believe. So what's innovational about this? Well, I believe that to make the streets more safe and make the streets actually cleaner in Korea, Koreans should create more shelters for stray cats and take care of the situation. I believe that they should introduce new laws protecting stray animals, because as you could see, their tails are actually broken and cut off, which is not natural and was made by people. I believe that the laws will change factual beliefs regarding the consequences of cutting tails. Also, they could help dilute shared custom because the cost of deviation from a descriptive norm will be higher. Also, I believe that the assimilation of traditions could be through the reference network. We could find the influential people who will be able to influence the people's perceptions of cutting tails of cats actually in Southeast Asia. And that will change the empirical expectations of people, make helping stray animals a descriptive norm or a pattern that people engage in because they feel everyone else is doing this. This will make the streets more clean, more safe, and with less stray animals with broken parts of their bodies. Thank you for your attention.
That was great. Very good job, Eleonora. And in fact, when I saw that, I said, I've observed that too. And I was always wondering. And in fact, you answered that question. And of course, you went to the next step and thought about what kind of innovation and so forth. I have, yeah, so there are many ideas that can come out of that. Thank you very much. Good job. Let's go to Tatiana Shin.
Yes,
Tatiana
good
Shin.
morning. I can start.
Okay.
Yes, today I wanted to talk about color change, and actually two students already mentioned a similar topic.
Yeah.
And when you walk in autumn, you do notice how different trees change their colors into different shades of yellow and red. And people do know why it happens, but actually I was thinking about it as an ability to change the color for a specific purpose. And thinking about the ability of changing color for a specific purpose, chameleons came up to my mind and their ability to change the color. And there is common misconception that chameleons do it in order to camouflage themselves against a background, but unfortunately it's not true. And as Chion already mentioned before, that's changing of the color directly connected to the body temperature because chameleons can generate their own body heat. And in this way, I also learned that different colors can be used as a way of communication to signal your intentions to others. And yes, basically that's all.
Very good. So yesterday you did colors and light. So you like that colors and everything. So maybe you can create a whole new innovation and business around colors. As I said, I think it's extremely important. I talked about how I observed the red hats of the Trump supporters and how color is related to emotion and even, political anger and, these sorts of feelings. So color is very important. And I'm glad you came up with that observation. I still think you need to develop a little bit more, but this could be your life passion
Yes.
about colors and so forth. So thanks for sharing that. Good
Yes,
job.
thank you.
We go to Pak Nadeja. Pak Nadeja.
Yes. So, can you hear me? So,
A little bit louder,
can you hear me
please.
now? What about now?
Okay, it's okay.
So,
Your internet is not very good.
oh, okay.
So I suggest you turn off your video. Usually I want people to put on video, but I think your internet is not very good. So turn off your video and just talk.
Can you hear me now better?
Yes.
The current time, I began to go out less often and realized that I had simply not looked at the sky for a long time. And it was on this day when I just simply looked out of the window and saw something breathtaking. And the sky was red orange. This sunset has become the most mysterious event for me in recent days, and I have seen such sunset many times, but for the first time I wondered why the sky becomes like this at sunset or dawn. At first sight, this question seems simple, but it touches on deep aspects of astronomy and the refraction of light in the atmosphere. Sunlight is made up of all the colors of the rainbow, but sunlight has to travel a certain distance for us to see it. And making its way through the Earth's atmosphere, it dissipates in all directions. And the blue part of the spectrum is more scattered than other colors. And during sunrise or sunset, when it is close to the horizon, rays of sunlight need to travel almost 30% more space in the atmosphere than during the day, and also break through more large atmospheric particles before entering our field of view. And short purple and blue waves scatter, while longer ones, yellow, orange, and red, remain in the sky. And red comes from the longest wavelength, so when the
Time
sun
is
is
up.
on horizon,
Just a
it
few more
turns red.
seconds.
Turns red. Yes, that's all.
Okay, thank you very much. Good job. Let's go to Bao Jingji. Bao Jingji. Jingyi. Bao Jingyi. Okay, let's go to Hu Min Lim. There you are.
Hello, Professor. Hello, everyone. So my observations for this one is a kitchen faucet. I think previously kitchen faucet was fixed, and right now, and then it was flexible, like it make it higher so you can move around both sinks. But currently, it was like even smaller, but it was detachable, and you can move even more flexible and longer. So I think I find it very fascinating when I moved to Korea, and I didn't know it was existing, and I was having trouble cleaning my pot, but then my friend showed me, and I was like so surprised and so amazed by their technology. So what if these observations brought me into some of the other forms that they can use? So I was thinking of a farming in agriculture on the first photo. So if you see the net, it was like have to put in through season. So I was thinking, why not make it detachable to the wall or to the space and just make the farmer pull it in and out as they wish. And secondly, it's come to a water crisis. Also, I think we only create like type, but it's pipe and it's quick. So it's not mobilized or flexible to help more people in a rural area where water sources is limited. And last but not least is the problem of small housing in the urban city. I think some of, especially in my country, Cambodia, the traffic jam was so bad. So I was thinking that perhaps some housing in a rural area can be detachable longer during the nighttime and make it shorter during the daytime for traffic to flow better. That is all. Thank you.
Wow. Good job. Very interesting kind of observations on the basis of this one thing. So that was great. Good job, Humin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fascinating. And also, this is very interesting. We talked about innovation in history, about how societies could bring ideas, the Roman Empire, and things like that, where they combine ideas. So here's Humin Lim in Korea. She observes this thing, and maybe she can create like a revolution in Cambodia. Not revolution, but you know what I mean. A new, that's a tricky word. Sorry, I used that word. You know, a new technology, new wonderful things in Cambodia. And not just about water, but about detachable and expandable and so forth. So that's very interesting. That's how innovation happens. You go and travel. So here you are, many of you are coming to Soulbridge. This is your opportunity to get some ideas. You know, you're getting an education, but if you look at history, people like you traveled and then came back to their countries and made some, you know, not revolution, but new things. So this is exactly what this assignment is about. And Human also exemplified this concept. That's, you know, we talk about these in the textbooks and in my lecture, and you hear about a history, but it's not just abstract history. This is happening now in this way. So thank you for sharing that. Let's go to Daria Nikoleva, and then we're going to take a break soon.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Recently, as it's like 3 weeks of exams, we have so many assignments, tasks, and exams to prepare for. So I was a little bit curious how I can become more productive, how I can focus on my work better. So I decided to conduct series of experiments. As I found out, we have two separate attention systems, unconscious and conscious. And unconscious, it's basically about noises and everything we focus during our work. So I decided, okay, how can I focus and involve these noises and music? So I conducted these experiments with music, different types of music, and I studied how these different types of music affect my productivity. So here you can see the total table with all my type of musics and my experiments. Overall, the most productive type of music is classical music and also sounds of nature. And also what I found out, when I have different type of music, various, but with lyrics, it can just distract my attention. And also volume of the music. So with really loud music, it's really hard to concentrate. But when it's medium or just low volume, it's fine. Yeah. And all this observation, it can be implemented in a small scale. So while you're preparing on work personally, and also it can be implemented in a big scale. So it can be, for example, in exams. So you know when it's pretty quiet in exam room and it's really hard and you're hearing these noises, like someone is writing and people even can write faster than you, and you think that, whoa, he's writing more than me, so probably he's smarter than me. But maybe with this music, especially with specific type of music, you can focus better on your work and be more productive. Yeah, that's it.
Good job. That was outstanding. So you made an observation, you did some simple experiments. That is a great example of innovation and also implications, you know, how to make people smarter and productivity and so forth. Actually, I came to similar conclusions. I didn't do detailed experiments like you, but I noticed that pop music is not too bad, but classical music is better. Although some very intense classical music, I can get distracted. Pop music with lyrics, often not so good. But you made a nice chart and everything. And then, so that was good. Congratulations. Very nice job. Thank you. Kim Hyun Ah. Let's go to Kim Hyun Ah. We'll do 2 more people and then we're going to take a break. Very quickly. Kim Hyun Ah. Kim Hyun Ah. You talked about renewable energy yesterday. Let's go to Maral Gang Huyang. Maral.
Yes, Professor.
Okay, great. Let's start.
Hello, everyone. So my observation project's name is Hope, and why I named this Hope is because of my aunt's pet turtle Molly, and he's sleeping
Oh,
now.
wow.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna share my screen right now. Okay, so so as you can see, Molly is really cute and all the turtles are really cute. I just wanted to remind you guys. And unfortunately, Molly lost his one left due to mysterious circumstances, and even the pet doctors in hospital couldn't diagnose the reason why. And my aunt was really sad about that. And I've been pet sitting him for about a month now. And I noticed that he was starting to walk and run again, and I thought he might be regenerating his legs. So I've been doing some observation quite a
Wow.
week now, and this observation led me to, of course, I'm really curious about my result because I've been feeding him good, taking care of him, and taking his picture of his leg every day to see the differences. And I'm waiting for the result, but it can be slow, but the process is gonna be led me into something, I guess. And this was really inspiring, I could say. And also this inspiration led me to curiosity about biological processes, how nature things go, and made me question what is power of nature and how he's doing it with only habitually without any conscious. And this was really inspiring. And all in all, my observation was, I think it was effective. And I also think this led me to a new field, and it was fresh, I guess. And thank you for your attention.
Very good. That was great. I mean, this concept of inspiring you to look at these things and track it, and is it regenerating? I think turtles are, I guess, amphibians, and they have had some ability to regenerate. So it'll be very interesting to see your, observations about that. So that's great. And you mentioned about inspired. So I just think this is great. All of you have been doing better than yesterday. So this is really good progress. And we'll do one more person and then we'll take a break. We have some people that are finishing exams and will join us at 10:30. So one more person, let me get the name. We'll do Duong Min Hoang. You did Tanzu yesterday. Duong Min Hoang.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, you have 2 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. So my observation today is about ghosts. So when I was a child, I went to graveyard to catch cricket and firefly. So one night I was passing by a cemetery. I saw a small bleaching fire appear. So I could guess that some kind of ghost. So I was panicked and ran away. But the spark chased it. So then it was explained, and I learned that cold wild whips is a phenomenon that's prosper with bacteria living underground that create gas under some condition to ignite small flame. So not every ghost just to believe. So sometimes the borderline between science and culture is really small. So just this phenomenon have many different interpretations. In Eastern culture, we believe that suggests about afterlife and so, but in Western culture, particularly in Wales, they believe that it's a sign of death. So this also show how innovation the people observation in the past to the present. When the past they cannot explain it, so they define as supernature. And now we try to explain it in scientific way. So not only observation to innovation, but we still need to innovation in how we observation. That yeah.
Very good. I like your last comment about we need to not just do observation for innovation, but innovation for observation, or innovation of observation. Very nice job. Nice twist. You know, as you can tell my style, I always like slightly different things. I have a weak spot for innovation. So good job. Let's actually do one more person just so we make sure we're on time. We're going to do Hoang Mi Duyen. Hoang Mi Duyen. You did Facebook marketing yesterday.
Hello, Professor. I'm here.
Great. Okay.
Okay,
2
so I will
minutes.
say my screen. It's just one slide screen. Okay, just wait a
Okay.
minute. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So tomorrow I talk about the Facebook marketing, but today I'm with my observation is that about the soft skill. Before I have joined in I have chance to join an English summer camp. At that camp, I saw that many I learned many skills, and one thing that made me very interesting is about the soft skill, especially in teamwork and leadership. I have learned a lot from that, and then I observed that many students graduate from university in Vietnam, but they don't have work, they don't have job, they don't have chance to work in a large companies. The reason is because they lack of soft skill. And then I go to the internet and find the reason and the solution. There are many soft skill program in my country. However, it's very expensive. But most of and they don't teach the student the real soft skill that they need in the field they work. So for the solution, so after that I come up with solutions is that I want to create an app or a program for student, but focus on what they work, what their job is, to make a pathway for them to learn soft skill, leadership, teamwork, communication, and also problem solving. And and the price for that is very small, or maybe for students who have problem with finance, we can make it free for them to make
That's
their
2 minutes.
that's all.
Okay, very good. I think you're missing one of the most important soft skills. Do you know which one that is?
I think that is time arrangement and also the.
You mean time management?
Oh yes.
That's a kind of hard skill in a way. Soft skills usually, well, that I'm not debating, that's fine, but I'm talking about another soft skill. You're missing one of the most important soft skills.
Oh, what that is, Professor?
Does anyone want to take a guess? So Hoang Mui Duyen made a very nice presentation, but she's missing one of the most important soft skills.
Is that creative thinking?
Innovation mindset.
Innovation
That's
mindset.
right. Or creative thinking, but remember, innovation is more than just creativity. So innovation mindset. is one of the most important soft skills. And I'm really glad you talked about this. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying I observed you missed something, in my opinion, and I'm using that observation to create a, point for the class is, this class is not about hard skills, innovation checklist or whatever. This class is about developing this soft skill, which Huang Mui Duyan mentioned is, often not taught. So it's very difficult. So these exercises that we're doing and how I'm trying to express things and show my examples of innovation personally, and of course, history and all that, to constantly develop this mindset of innovation mindset. That's a very important soft skill. Okay, so let's take a break here. There are people who, about 10 people who have a final exam ending at 10:30. I'm going to put in the chat room here. We will start again at 10:40, actually 10:45. We will start again at 10:45. If you know your friends who are taking those exams, you can tell them. But we will start at 10:45, and I think we should be able to finish before 12. Pretty good. Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
Professor, I have one question.
Yeah.
So I don't have any exam, but you didn't call my name, and also
I know there are a couple people that I still didn't reach, so don't worry about that.
I sent you an email like at the beginning of the week, like that I have an exam tomorrow and also yesterday, so I couldn't really present, like, but I didn't get any response. So, and also yesterday, I didn't have the chance to present.
Yeah, so yesterday you didn't present, but were you out the whole time?
So no, I was inside the Zoom meeting like at the beginning.
I see. I didn't get that message. So please send me a message again about tomorrow, because it's very important that you not miss the presentations. So tomorrow, I will call on you today, don't worry. But tomorrow, if you have a conflict, let me know if you can go at the beginning or at the end.
I will send you
Okay.
an email again. Thank you.
Actually, let me just make sure. I'll make a note here. So that's, so tomorrow, can you go early or late?
Oh, can I go early because I have exam at 10:30?
Okay. And I got emails from other people. Great. So we will start again at 10:45 today. And if you didn't have an exam, I didn't call on you, don't worry. I just didn't cover everybody before this first half of the course. Okay, see you at 10:45.